I think most young people at university should just shut the fuck up. And I'm saying this out of love. And by love, I mean tough love, not that lovey-dovey shit. But anyway, it's okay. Backstory from my point. I'm 24. I work in a startup, and as much as I want to speak up about things that I kind of know, I feel like you just have to shut the fuck up sometimes and either take it, which I don't really recommend. If you're getting exploited, then you should definitely say something. But in terms of like your worldviews and things like politics, you can have a little chit chat here and there about what you actually feel from your perspective. But all of that stuff about the economy or the job market, you basically don't know anything. You're straight out of university. You've never had any life skills. You've probably had a little retail job or a cafe job or just in your entry level position that you've had at a consultancy firm or accounting in those fields. And that reason is to just listen, observe, listen, and then speak. Don't go out spurting out rubbish here and there or try to act funny just so you want validation. And I've been there. I've done that. I've done things should have I've never should have done. And the fact that you're doing this for the validation, people can see that you're doing it for that reason alone. And I used to work in I still do on a weekend, sometimes weekdays, but there was this girl that was from Australia. I think she's way older than me, maybe around 30, 31. But she would act in a way that her voice was already annoying, but her projection of her voice was the loud. You could hear her from across the room, and she is probably the loudest person I've ever seen for a girl that's only 4'11". She was probably, if not more loud than the managers, and that was really people can see that you're doing this, doing that because of the attention. And people hated her because of that. Not because, she was attractive. I'll give her that. She was attractive, but the loudest people in the room aren't always the ones that are the most liked. There's some loud people that are actually funny and they get shit done, but you either have to be good at your job for people not to care that you're the loud one, or if you're funny enough. But you have to compensate for something. And people my age, 24s and below, they don't have no compensation. They have no leverage whatsoever, unless you're like a millionaire, a billionaire, or you have some sort of motion or you're attractive. Them high accolades. But for an average person, for an average 24-year-old or average 20-year-old, you have nothing to say, or you have a say, but it's not weighted appropriately because of your life experiences. So if you're working in a startup, if you're working in accounting consultancy, or just be likable, just be cordial with people. Don't say too much, but say enough that you're actually liked and people know a little bit about you. But don't be a mute going into these roles. So don't be that girl that was too loud or that was trying too hard. Be someone that you want to be friends with, that you'd like to be friends with, and everything falls in place because it's not always the hard work that you do. It's about if you're liked or not. Doing the work is not always the case. You're either liked or you're not liked in the role. And you know, for a backstory, my marketing manager, she left. She has a young family. She had a kid, and she wanted stability. And I basically picked up that role because it was just me and her in that team of two. So I picked up that role, but I was doing a lot more. I was doing presentations that probably I shouldn't have done in the first place. Having these marketing budgets, these budget and analytics, CAC, LTV, everything to do with marketing. I've never done in my life, by the way, but I've done it. I've made mistakes. I've showed that I'm capable of learning on the job. 2 months into the job, and I got promoted just last week. So all you have to do is be likable. Don't talk too much. You have nothing to say really because you literally came out of university. You have no life experiences, so just shut up and do the work. Be likable. Say enough, but don't say too little. And also keep some opinions to yourself because no one really cares. No one's waiting that against you unless you're millionaire. You're very, very attractive, like model level attractive. And that's how to win in your 20s.